Welcome to Honest Hockey, where two guys talk about all things hockey. Honestly, I'm Tom and he's Tom. Thanks for joining us today. Our first topic of today is going to be the Marc Andre Fleury situation.
Absolutely.
Where that pretty idiotic photo was posted by his agent of him being stabbed in the back and have DeBoer's name engraved onto the sword. So what do you think about this whole situation?
It was laughable that Walsh thought that this was going to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
Fleury has not been the best goaltender on the team this year.
No.
During the regular season, he was 47th out of 83 qualifying goalies with a .905 save percentage.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Obviously, the number one goaltender for the Vegas Golden Knights is clearly Robin Leonard.
Clearly.
He had a save percentage of 9.20 for the season. So clearly the better pick out of the two.
Clearly. I mean, his .920 save percentage was ranked 15th in the league out of those same qualifying goalies. Last I checked, 15th is better than 47th.
Yeah, I completely agree again. Do you think this is going to have an effect in the locker room?
God, I really hope not, because I don't know about you, but I feel like that Vegas is the most complete team in the league right now. They have probably the best chance of winning the cup, and I would really hate to see such a stupid situation like this affect their chances at getting the ultimate goal, which is winning the cup.
Definitely. Great defense, great offense, just a great team overall. Great story, especially with Vegas Strong going there from the beginning. Got to see them win the cup this year.
Yeah, I mean, they have to win the cup this year.
Yeah.
It's been such a long season. They started it back in October, played it all the way up to what, March?
March, yeah.
And then they stopped until late July just to restart in a completely new city. I mean, they're playing up in Edmonton, which last time I checked is not Vegas.
No.
It is not. They're bubbled. They can't leave. They can't go anywhere. They just have to stay there, play hockey in front of no fans. And for any team, this is difficult.
Yeah.
But a team that has such a chance that looks so dominant right now, and for them to just not win the cup in such a difficult year just because of a stupid post is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Our second topic of discussion is going to be the Caps and the Pens. Obviously, we're going to talk about how poorly their seasons ended in the playoffs. Pretty lackluster kind of games going on there, especially the Caps series. And the Pens series obviously wasn't too far from that.
No, it was incredibly painful to watch how badly the Caps were just embarrassed and humiliated by the Islanders in every aspect of the game.
Yes.
In offense and defense and special teams, in goaltending. Shout out Braden Holtby for being absolutely terrible and blowing a 2-goal lead in game one on a goal that you just should not give up. All right, I'm done rambling there. They were just outclassed in every way possible.
Yeah.
They were shut out for 4 of the 5 games, and the only reason they didn't lose in 4 games was because I think it was Cal Clutterbuck really annoyed Ovechkin, and then Ovechkin was like, oh yeah, I can score goals now. And he went, scored, and put the team on their back for 1 game, and then they got shut out in game 5 and lost the series.
And there was no help from the defense for Holtby at all.
No, the Caps defense, John Carlson knew how to score on the power play, but none of them knew how to actually play defense.
Yeah. What brings me to my next point, actually, and their two respective superstars, Ovi and Crosby. Do you think that their cup era is done?
That's a weird question and a weird thing to think about because, I mean, Ovi and Crosby have dominated the Metro for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I mean, Ovi's only won the 1 cup, and that cup came when Barry Trotz was coaching, the only established coach, really, Ovi has ever had in his career.
Yeah.
And they won the cup, and Barry Trotz was like, hey, how's it going, guys? Like some more money. Like $5 million a year. And the Caps were like, we got you, don't worry, we'll take care of you. $1.8 million a year. And he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go and sign with the Islanders. He signed with the Islanders, and 2 years later, the Islanders in 5 games embarrassed his former team. Embarrassed. And what was the Caps' response to losing to their former coach handily? We're going to fire Todd Reardon, the guy we hired to replace Barry Trotz because he was young, a rookie head coach, and he was cheap.
Yeah. And I believe for the past couple of years before that, including Barry, all of those were paid cheaply.
Yeah. I mean, Adam Oates, before Barry, was also a young rookie head coach, and he also was getting paid nothing, and Barry was getting paid nothing as a coach too.
Yeah.
It was only after he won the cup that he was like, hey, I would like more money, and the Caps throughout their history have just not wanted to pay coaches. And honestly, you asked the question before: is Ovi's era of winning cups over? And if the Caps go back, they go back and sign another assistant or young rookie head coach. They might have all the regular season success in the world they want.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the playoff experience, they have none of that in the coach. And they can continue to lose in the first round. Last year, they lost in the first round to Carolina. This year, they lost to the Islanders. They need to hire a coach who's experienced.
Yeah.
Out there on the market right now, you have Mike Babcock, you have Peter Laviolette, you have Gerard Gallant, you have all these spectacular, experienced coaches who might have had their issues in other places. But, it's the Barry Trotz effect. You take Barry Trotz, you put him on the Islanders, suddenly they go from being a team who can't really do much and barely makes playoffs to looking great beating the Caps, looking great when they beat the Panthers in the play-in round, and right now playing a very competitive series with the Flyers.
Yeah.
You put one of those coaches on Washington, and I started to think what playoff Ovi would look like with a coach who knows how to use them, who knows how to win in the playoffs. That could be scary, and that's probably the only way I see the Capitals getting back to having a chance of winning the Cup.
So then, do you think Ovi's era is done then?
Yes, because I don't see the Caps being smart and hiring one of those great coaches. I say they go with like another unexperienced head coach, and they toil in mediocrity until Ovi retires, and then
what
number one overall pick again.
Yeah, and what if they hire that amazing coach? Is it over? Or
no? If they hired this amazing any of the amazing coaches, there's even more than the three that I mentioned. Those are the three that just came to the top of my head. Mm-hmm. I guarantee they pushed their Stanley Cup window open a couple more years, and I would make a guarantee if they hire one of those coaches, Ovi gets a second Stanley Cup. Okay,
all right. Now we move on to Sid the Kid. What do you think?
Oh God. It's weird. That team, it's like they always were finding a way to reload and work around the salary cap. They had Crosby, they had Malkin, then they somehow fit Kessel. They had Hornquist. They always found a way to make it work.
It was trading the assets.
Yeah.
Talking about trading.
Thank you for setting me up for that.
Yeah.
GM Jim Rutherford has got to go, in my opinion.
Okay, wow.
He went out there and made one of the most asinine trades I've seen in recent memory. They traded Philip Hollander and the 15th overall pick for Kasperi Kapanen. Now, don't get me wrong. Kapanen is a good third-line player.
Yeah.
He scored 20 goals last year. I think he scored 13 this year. He's a good depth player.
But what are they trying to do?
Yeah, what are they trying to do? They went out there and they traded Hollander, who you could argue is a younger, better version of Kapanen. If not better, it's a wash. Yeah. And then they went out there and they traded the 15th overall pick. Do you remember a couple weeks ago, the draft lottery?
Yeah.
Do you remember we were talking about, while we were waiting for it, how the Penguins could win the draft lottery?
Yeah.
And having Alexei play with Crosby and how scary that could be.
It would have been a very, very scary
right? Like, if Crosby made Brian Rust into like a 30 goal scorer, what could he do with Alexei?
Yeah.
And now, fast forward like 2.5 weeks later, they don't even have their first round pick anymore. No. They traded it for Kasperi Kapanen. And Jim Rutherford has this, I don't know if it's on purpose, it has to be, where he trades for players that he knows exist. I don't know if he just doesn't scout or what, but they traded away Connor Sheary to Buffalo a couple years ago, and then they traded back for Connor Sheary.
Yeah.
They traded Kapanen away for Phil Kessel, and guess what? They traded back for Kapanen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He did this in Carolina, and I don't think the Pens will have much sustained success anymore with Crosby getting older, with Malkin getting older. Yeah. Until they figure out what they're doing, making these trades, trading their assets. And I know I heard a story today that they said they're most definitely going to trade one of their goalies.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's Tristan Jarry or Matt Murray, one of them, but they're going to trade one of them. And I honestly don't know what the outlook is for this Pittsburgh team, with the Metro being so stacked, with the Flyers being great, with the Islanders being great, with the Rangers being great, with the Hurricanes being great. The Penguins and the Caps, both of them, are really going to have to take it into another gear and figure out what they're doing inside their front offices to really keep up with the Metro, because it is a stacked division.
Yeah. So then, is it over, or does it continue?
I don't know. They have just way too much talent for me to definitively say it's over. I mean, any team that's running out Crosby and Malkin for 20 minutes a night, I can never say it's over. But that trade really, when I saw that trade come down, I'm like, ugh.
But let's see what they do.
Dubas really got the best of good old Jim Rutherford, but
let's see what they can do.
See,
and, let's see what success brings them next year.
Yeah, there's a lot of moves that have to be done in Pittsburgh for them to get back to where they are, and maybe Jim Rutherford can make them, but based on this trade, instant reaction, maybe overreacting a little, but instant reaction, I don't like it, and I have no faith, and I know Pittsburgh fans have zero faith in management of this team right now.
All right.
Thanks for watching this episode of Honest Hockey. Make sure to give us a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to cross-check that subscribe button. I'm Tom. He's Tom. We'll catch you next time.